doing? My name is Teresa Jacks. Welcome to my YouTube channel, as promised. As most of you know, my name is Teresa Jacks. Bertina's Consulting is my consulting business. I wrote a book at the beginning of the year called Dentistry Beyond the Classroom, where it prepares new dentists for the workforce after school. So I wanted to start it going live and making videos for you guys so we could talk more about the business of dentistry. So this is my first live video. I wanted to make it a short video and a quick video, but make sure that you subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on because I will be going live Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Okay, that's Wednesdays at 5 p.m. I will be going live. So today I wanted to go ahead and jump into it and let's talk about your new patient intake form. Do you have a new patient intake form? Are you utilizing some sort of a new patient intake form? So I have a new patient intake form and you can go online and find these forms. You just type in new patient call summary or new patient intake form and these forms will pop up for you. You can always customize them, to whatever your liking is. Okay, so nothing is cookie cutter here. Everything, that I talk about on this channel, of course, nothing is across the board for everything. So, of course, when it comes to your forms, your dental forms, make sure that you customize your form to what's good for your practice and your patients. Instead of just finding a form and just putting it to use, it may not be something that is good to utilize for your patients. I am going to share my screen here. This is my first time doing this on this new platform, so definitely wanted to come on today and make sure that I give you guys some great information. So, new patient intake form. Okay, the first thing you're gonna so with this particular form, again, I customized this form, so I added a few questions. Have you had a fever or difficult breathing or a cough? Of course, we're in the era of COVID-19 right now. So you may want to just ask your patients a few questions just to get the preliminaries out of the way. So do you have a fever, difficult breathing, or coughing? That's a yes or no. Have you returned from travel in the last 14 days? That's a yes or no. Have you been in contact with a suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19? That's a yes or no. And are you experiencing pain or discomfort? That's a yes or no. Okay. So we want to get those questions out of the way first. Always going to make sure that you put today's date on the form. What does that mean? We always want to make sure that we are tracking when a new patient call into our practice. So a lot of times patients will make an appointment and they may not show up. So you may want to start having or think about having some type of filing system. So when these patients don't show up, we can follow up with them. So the date is very important for that because what that date will do is it will allow you to say, okay, this patient had an appointment on October the 20th. But yet this, or October the 1st, and here it is the 20th, let's follow back up with this patient just to see if they found another practice, if they found another office. You just want to make sure that you keep track of today's date because these things mean a lot. They can tell you a lot. Today's date also can tell you, hey, are we getting patients in soon enough? We live in an instant gratification world where a lot of patients, they want the next available appointment. So if you're booking them 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 weeks and a month and 2 months out, then, that may be a problem. They may be still calling around and may not get a chance to call you back to say, hey, I found an office somewhere else. Okay. So you want to get their full legal name, their address, the patient's date of birth, their phone number, their work or cell number, their email address, and emergency contact. The reason why I put the emergency contact on this particular form is because I remember having an experience where a patient came in as a new patient and they were sitting in the reception area and they actually had a medical emergency. And because I had this information, I was able to call their contact person really quickly. Of course, we was able to get the patient medical attention and things like that, but having this emergency contact number was very great because the patient wasn't even finished filling out her new patient forms, the forms that you give the patients once they get into the office. The patient haven't even gotten that far yet. So having this emergency contact information is really good to have, because like I said, you never know what can happen to a patient once they walk into your office, and you want to get as much information as you can over the phone. Again, this is also part of building relationships. This patient was so grateful. She couldn't even believe that we even had her, I believe it was her daughter's information that she had given us during the new patient call. She had given us her daughter's information, so we was able to call her daughter, let her know that her mom had an emergency in the office, and her daughter was able to meet us there. Primary physician, I'll just get their name. A lot of times you can Google it. A lot of times patients may not know their physician's phone number. The last date of dental visit. So you just want to notice the last time they went to a dental office. It's just good information to know. If they tell you that they was in the dental office, within the last 3 months or 2 months or whatever. A lot of insurance companies cover cleanings and exams, once every 6 months or once every 3 to 4 months. It depends on your dental health. How did you hear about us? How did you hear about us is a great question. We want to know where our new patients are coming from. How did they hear about us? How was they able to pick up the phone and call us? Was it by referral, through a family member, or through a patient that comes to the practice? Was it through your insurance company, or did you receive some type of direct mail? So we want to make sure that we are finding out where our new patients are coming from, and we want to also make sure that we are documenting this information that we get from the patient into our software system. Okay, insurance information. The primary subscriber's name. This is the policyholder's name. So who is the insurance through? Is it through you? Is it through your husband? Things like that. So we want to know the policy, which is the primary subscriber name. We want to know their name. We want to know the name of the insurance company. The policy or group number is very, very important. You want to make sure that you are getting the patient's group number. For instance, let's just use Safeway as an example. Safeway could offer two different plans, or 2 or 3 different options. All could be under the same insurance company. And so we want to make sure that we get the group numbers, because those group numbers mean the coverage is different for each group number. We want to make sure you get the group number there. The relationship to the insured person, we want to make sure we know what that is. If they have any secondary insurances, you also want to know that information too. You also want to make sure that you get the policy, the ID number, or the subscriber ID number. Along with the group number, you want to make sure that you get the subscriber ID number. So the ID number, a lot of times this may be their social security numbers. I know a lot of insurance companies are starting to provide ID numbers because a lot of patients, one of the barriers have been that the patients don't want to give you their social security number over the phone. So some insurance companies are actually providing ID numbers. So you want to either get their ID number. If they don't have an ID number, get their social security number, so you can be able to verify insurance. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. I know that some barriers have been that patients don't want to give their insurance, their social security number over the phone, and that's perfectly fine. So if they're not wanting to give their social security number over the phone, you just need to let them know that they do need to come in at least 30 minutes earlier if they want to get all of their procedures done that day. Because as we all know, calling into insurance company is not like picking up the phone and talking to your friend or your buddy. Those are whole times that you have to wait. And if you're dealing with new people or new hires at that insurance company, this could be a long process, which could throw your entire schedule off. So make sure that we are communicating with our patients. Communication, communication, communication. And we just need to let them know. And then when they come in that day of service, as a new patient, let's just say they show up 20, 25 minutes late, guys, communication is absolutely key. There's nothing worse than having a patient show up 20 minutes late, nobody say anything to them. They get in the back, they get started with their x-rays, all of this stuff, and then we have to tell them, oops, I'm sorry, we can't see you because my next patient is here. You want to make sure that you're communicating with the patient up front, letting them know, that 30 minutes was really needed for you guys to verify their insurance for that day. You want to respect the fact that, they didn't want to give their social over the phone. That's perfectly fine. But it does take time to verify patients' insurance. And we do want to be upfront about how much time we have, or we may just want to tell them, it may be a little wait. My philosophy is never to turn a patient down or turn a patient away, as long as we are all upfront and communicating with the patient about what's going on. For instance, let's say this new patient come into the office 20 minutes late because they were stuck in traffic, accident happened, whatever, guys, these things happen. Our job as front desk people is to make sure that we have great communication skills. So we can let the patient know, come on in, get your paperwork started. It may take us a little while because, we have to wait till you get here to verify your insurance. And we're going to do the best we can to get you seen today. And then when that next patient come in, make sure that you are having open dialogue with the patient to say, hey, you might know my next patient came in. We did get all of your x-rays done today. So that's a great thing. The only thing we need to do now is get started with your cleaning. Great. Do you have a problem with waiting? So we want to make sure, again, that we're always upfront with our patients when it comes to their arrival time in the practice, especially as a new patient. These are first impressions. You don't really get a second chance to make a first impression. So we want to make sure that we're upfront and honest with our patients about what's going on, and let them know that, we are going to see them today, but because they were late, it's going to be a little bit of a wait. Some patients may be okay with that. Some patients, because they'll say, yeah, I know I was late. I realize I was late. I do apologize. And some patients may be okay to stay for that day so they can still get their services done. So the relationship to the insured, whether that's the husband or the wife, any secondary insurance, this is also good to have, before the patient walks into the office, is getting that secondary insurance, because you want to make sure that you verify all of those things too. Okay. The next section that I put in here is a medical history and details. So have you been hospitalized or had a major operation within the last 2 years? That's a yes or no. And if yes, details, they may just say, had a baby, had cesarean, whatever this is, had my appendix out, whatever that is, they'll put that information there. Do you have any dental concerns? Okay. Very important to know if your patients have any dental concerns before they're walking into the office. They may tell you, yeah, I had a crown about a couple of years ago and it fell off. Okay, great information to know. What area is this, the area of concern? Is it the upper right, the lower right, the upper left, the lower left? Get as much details as you can. Are you sensitive to hot and cold? Get as much details as you can if the patient is having any dental concerns. This will also help you ask better questions when you do call the insurance company to get a breakdown of their benefits. Okay, and we'll talk about that in another video. But today we're just going to focus on the new patient intake form. So this is the new patient intake form, things that you should have on this form. So again, I've been working in the dental field for about 28 years, and I find these last two questions to be very helpful when it comes to building relationships with patients. The first thing is, what did you like about your dental office, and what did you not like about your dental office? What did you like about your dental office? It pretty much lets us know what the patient liked. You know, if they say, well, I like the fact that they were nice and friendly and they always offered me coffee or whatever, you know, the case may be, then those are things that we can make sure that we're doing for the patient when they walk into our practice. If the second one, what did you not like about the dental office? If the second one could have been, well, they never got my billing right, or they always ran late. Again, these two questions are great relationship building questions. So you can ask the patient so you can give them a great experience. Okay, and that is it. Now, again, this is called the new patient intake form. You can customize this form to whatever you like. You don't want this form to be a long, daunting form. You want to be able to go through this form pretty quickly with building a great relationship with the patient. And again, these questions, you can change them up to whatever you feel as though you would like to know about your new patient experience at their previous dental practice or dental office, I should say, dental office. And then you can tailor it to your needs. And this is the new patient intake form. Okay. So that's the new patient intake form, guys. I hope you are utilizing a new patient intake form or some type of form like that for your new patients. Again, it's been a pleasure coming on today and talking with you guys. Don't forget to hit the notification button. I will be on tomorrow live. Tomorrow will be probably about an hour. We're going to talk about my absolute favorite thing, which is building relationships. I love building those relationships. And we are going to be talking about that tomorrow. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, come with your pen, your paper. Make sure you talk to me on here. I'm going to see if you try to keep up with as many as the comments as I can. But tomorrow we are going to talk about building relationships. And it's two parts to building relationships. So tomorrow we're going to be doing building relationships with your patients. Okay? So tomorrow we're going to be talking about building relationships with your patients. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. and we can talk about building relationships with your patients. I'm super excited. Please, please, please hit the notification button so you know when I come live. I may be coming live intermediately in between Wednesdays. If something pops up or if something comes up. I also want you guys to know that if you ever have any questions or if you ever want me to talk about any topics, because this is going to be a lot that we do, which I'm excited about, you can always email me. You can email me at bertinasconsulting@gmail.com. That's bertinasconsulting@gmail.com. Okay, and that's if you have any questions. So again, we will be going live Wednesday, 10/25 at 5 p.m. I'm super, super excited. If you guys want to go ahead and get my book, Dentistry Beyond the Classroom by Teresa Jacks, you can go to Amazon.com and get that. Everything that I will be talking about on this channel will be in that book. So if you want the book so you can, go along and look at some things, ask more questions as I go live about these subjects, make sure to go to Amazon.com and get Dentistry Beyond the Classroom by Teresa Jacks. Okay, and that is all I have for you for today. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to tune into my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Don't be late. Bye.